Billboard, Chris, here's an individual I greatly admire, puts himself quite literally at risk. As you know, Drea, he's had his arm broken. I think that happened in Montreal. He had some look like mentally ill transgender people attack him in your neck of the woods. And here we have a debate, if you can call it that. It's Billboard Chris with a guy at Portland State University. Oh my goodness, can you imagine how woke that campus is? Portland, Washington, are you kidding? Let's see what happened.
Is a fucking idiot. You
want to have a conversation?
No, I don't want to talk to you. I want you to fucking leave.
Okay.
Nobody's impressed. You guys fucking suck so bad.
Okay.
You are the dumbest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
Should we be able to have
Shut the
conversations
fuck up.
on the
No.
university campus?
My man. See, you should talk to this guy. You should have a conversation
Should
with
we be able to have
this guy. No, you should shut the fuck up. You should move to a cave and die. Because you're an idiot.
Well, why can't we
This
have
is a place of
conversations?
learning, and you're a stupid motherfucker. You should listen here and not talk.
What's stupid about my position?
Everything.
Like what?
You're an ignorant, hateful little shit. I
Tell
don't
me
know why
one
you're
thing.
so...
Tell me one thing that's
I'll
stupid
tell you
about this.
10,000 things.
Let's
You
hear
suck.
it.
Fuck you. Yeah, that's two right there. Yeah.
What about the position of children
Your
cannot consent to
position
puberty blockers?
is you're
What
a
do you think
fucking
is
idiot.
stupid about that?
My position is I give a shit about every human being.
The level of debate in the hallowed halls of academia these days, Drea Humphrey. I mean, once again, someone that can't not resort to the F-bomb and worse in terms of making his argument. I'm not sure what the argument was. I think at one point he wished Billboard Chris was dead. Gee, that's nice.
Go to a cave and die.
Yeah, go to a cave and
Their
die.
mind is so sick. Like, how do you even come up with this stuff so fast?
But why are these people completely incapable of debating the issue at hand, Drea?
Because the issue at hand is child mutilation.
Yes.
I mean, what are you going to say in defense of that? That's why you have to get so mad and angry and swear and deflect and say all these things. They are standing up for child mutilation, for children to opt into, life-altering medication that could make them pharmaceutical patients for life, that can lessen their bone density, that can make them sterile. And this is a decision the child is supposed to make from themselves 10 years before, or sometimes 13 years before their frontal cortex is developed, meaning their brain is not developed for reasoning and decision-making. So what logic can you say in defense to that? And special thanks to Savannah Hernandez, by the way, who filmed that footage, got real close and put that up on social media for we can see. But Billboard Chris, if anybody actually does talk with him, he knows the facts. He knows the stats.
Yep.
He knows, that in the UK, they've kind of done these transitions sort of at a higher volume than us years earlier. And now there are so many young adults who are saying, what the heck? Why did the adults in my life allow this to happen? Around 1,000 families are taking their now shut down most popular gender clinic to court, the Tavistock Clinic in the UK.
Yep.
So it's when you talk about who's educated on the matter, they think, okay, I'm at university, I'm educated, this is just all hate. The truth is they don't know the facts. They are uneducated on the matter, and they themselves are the ones spewing out hate instead of knowledge. And so I do like that Billboard Chris goes out there peacefully. That's what I really like about Billboard Chris. He has the most peaceful stance, and it becomes very clear who is hateful, who is venomous. And I know some of you are probably wondering, well, what happened with that officer? If we have a little bit of B-roll in case you missed it, but completely internationally viral footage that was captured by a Vancouver-based journalist, Dan Dix, when he was getting mobbed in Vancouver by violent trans activists, go figure, and Officer Frederic Buckman was just smiling at the incident. I mean, they're dehumanizing parents who are standing up for this important, controversial issue. And some of you are probably like, what's going on? So I have a video coming up today. Close to 20,000 of you signed a petition about that officer's conduct, wanting her fired, disciplined. So I have an update coming out. I believe it's coming out pretty soon. So make sure to check fireofficerbuckman.com for that petition update. But yeah, there's that incident there.
Andrea, I kind of understood where Officer Buckman was coming from a few weeks ago. We obtained material from the Toronto Police Service. I did a monologue on it when I was filling in for Ezra, and it was eye-opening. And I imagine if it's in the Toronto service, it's probably in other police services across Canada. Basically, it was the transgender training modules. It is absolutely astonishing to watch. And in fairness to the Toronto Police, this is not an organic initiative by them. They've been ordered to do this by the Ontario Human Rights Commission based on one complaint they received of somebody who was misgendered or the wrong pronouns were used or what have you. And essentially, the crux of the matter, Drea, is that trans people do not have equal rights. They have special rights. And we saw that on display with Billboard Chris in your neck of the woods. And I urge our viewers, if you haven't seen that, we put it up in free content section. Please go check it out, because police officers are being lectured to by apparently trans homeless people by the looks of things, Drea. It is so surreal. And so at the end of the day, Officer Buckman, in her defense, she's just following orders. She's been instructed, I presume, to look the other way. And that's why when Billboard Chris gets assaulted right in front of her face, she dared not wade into that, because maybe it's going to be a reprimand down the road for her. But the other thing I want to address is the whole LGBT community going up against demonstrators who are concerned about age appropriateness and forming a counter demonstration, basically implying that children should have no rights when it comes to whether it's puberty blockers that they take or being subjected to pornographic novels in elementary schools. And Drea, here's what I don't get. Last week, ace cameraman Lincoln J and I, we went out to Whitby. We covered a protest, mostly by mothers and grandmothers, very nice, civil people. And they were on point. They had a list of books in the Durham district, including the school they were at, Colonel Farewell. And it was downright pornographic. I'm not even going to read the passages, but it involved sex, oral sex, masturbation, you name it. Here's the thing. There was a counter demonstration denouncing these people as haters, bigots, transphobes, homophobes.
There
But Drea,
is,
the point is, the demonstrators against the porn in the elementary schools, they were on point. This is inappropriate material for elementary age children. They never talked about sexual orientation. They never talked about gender identification. So for this community, the so-called love trumps hate LGBTQ mafia, you are on the wrong side of decency and, dare I say it, history. If you're making a stance that children should be subjected to pornography, you are on the wrong side ethically, morally, and perhaps even legally, because this group wants to challenge the legality of this material getting into our schools, Drea.
Well, I know here the Anti-Hate Network has put out just a little blurb and accused people of being anti-LGBTQ or, hateful when they are protesting the same thing out here in BC. So I think part of the problem is people just trust organizations like that. They just think, okay, well, they must have done their research, and they're not seeing the images in the books themselves. And then when you confront them, which I have done sometimes, they quickly, they don't have the fight in them anymore. Usually, even if they still act like they're on the other side, you can see they go home and they're probably like, I'm not coming back to one of those things. So that's the real thing. So the troubling thing are the school trustees, are the teachers, are the ones who actually know, who have seen this footage and still say, no, this is okay. And not only this is okay, they still think you are spreading hate by not wanting this in there. That's the craziest part to me.
It's unbelievable.
And the most concerning.
That's a clip from something we call Rebel News Daily. It's our daily live stream hosted by my friend David Menzies, but the show also includes a rotating cast of hosts and special guests, including me. It's a great way for us to talk about the news of the day as the news is happening in an unscripted fashion, and it's an awesome way for you to interact with us as well. We stream every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain, wherever you find Rebel News. See you there.